Okay. Let me massage your scalp.
Daddy, it hurts.
Sorry. That's why we put oil in it.
Stop, I have a lump on my head.
Where?
Daddy.
Show me where was that? How'd you get a lump up there?
I hit my head.
What'd you hit me?
Don't touch my scalp.
Listen. It's very important not to let me do your hair, though, okay, Sebastian?
Daddy, it's very...
Listen to me. It's the first day of school.
What's poppin', everybody? Welcome to SOK ENT. Subscribe, thumbs up the video. Always feel free to leave a comment. Click that bell for notifications. I was on Instagram and I was looking at a post that Wiz Khalifa made, and basically, he was just recording his son eating food, and his son was acting like really goofy. You know how kids are. So I went to the comments just to see what people were saying, because I kind of felt a little way about the video. I've been feeling a little way about Wiz Khalifa's son for a long time, but I had to take a step back and say, you know what, kids are kids, man. You gotta let kids be kids. You understand what I'm saying? So I say, you know what, let me just let the kid be a kid before I pass judgment upon him, because at the end of the day, he's a little kid. He's not even a teenager yet. So I went into the comment section, and I saw a lot of people calling Sebastian gay or fruity, or some people said he was acting weird. And I saw this comment that said, and Sebastian's nickname is Bash. So I saw this lady leave a comment that said, Bash is such a free spirit. He has no toxic masculinity around here. And I said to myself, what? I'm going to repeat that for y'all. A woman in the comment section said that Bash is such a free spirit. He has no toxic masculinity. And when I read that comment, I had to really reread that shit about 5 times before I said, you know what, I got to make a video about this. Now, let's go down the rabbit hole, right? Now, Sebastian's mother is Amber Rose, right? And we know that Amber Rose has a slut walk every year where she basically stands up for women being hoes, being whores, women being able to sleep with however many men that they want to sleep with. Amber Rose has called herself a hoe repeatedly. She actually takes pride in being a hoe. And I found that very odd that the mother of somebody is going around having a slut walk and calling herself a hoe and calling herself a whore and taking pride in sleeping with different men every week. And I said, you know what? I understand what she's trying to do, because I understand that there is a double standard in the world where it's cool for men to be players. It's cool for men to sleep with multiple women, but we don't like when women do that. And I understand that when women sleep with multiple men, we like to call them hoes. So I totally understand what Amber Rose was doing. But I just feel like there's a different way to approach that. Because at the end of the day, not every man is out here putting his dick in everything. We got to stop saying that. There's some people out here that's 25, that's a virgin, that's waiting until they get married. So we got to stop acting like every man is a dog. We got to cut that bullshit, right? Now, let's get into the main topic of this video, right? So, Wiz Khalifa's son, Sebastian, I've seen multiple videos where this kid clearly has picked up on his mother's behaviors. I've seen a video where he's back talking to Wiz Khalifa, being sassy. I saw a video on his first day of school where Wiz was trying to brush his hair and Sebastian was giving him an attitude, snapping his neck like a little girl. And I've seen other videos where he's very feminine. And what's scary to me is the fact that this little boy is not even a teenager yet, and he's so feminine. I had to say to myself, wow, it's clear that he's picked up on his mother's behavior more than he's picked up on his father's behavior. And what's weird about that is, sometimes, when a boy is growing up in a single parent household, or when he's growing up around his mother and his aunties and the father's not in the picture, sometimes that kid ends up being feminine. He might not be gay. In some cases, the kid does end up being gay because the kid is not around masculinity enough. So he picks up on what he sees, right? Because we're creatures of habit and we act how we see other people acting when we're raised, right? Like, for example, if your father plays basketball and you spend most of the time with your father, 9 times out of 10, you're going to play basketball, or you might play football, right? And, if you're spending time with your mom mostly, and your mom is very feminine, your mom calls herself a hoe, your mom is constantly wearing inappropriate clothing, your mom is seen with multiple men, your mom is gossiping a lot around you, then you might pick up on some of the behaviors of your mother. You might not even notice it. Like, somebody around you might check you like, hey, bro, you gossiping a little bit too much. Or, hey, bro, you swinging your hips a little too crazy, my nigga. Like, yo, do you realize what you're doing? Oh, shit, dog. I ain't even know I was swinging my hips like that. My bad, bro. See, a lot of times, bro, when you're young, you don't realize what's going on. You just gravitating towards what you're around. And feminine energy in 2018 is much more powerful than masculine energy. And it's unfortunate. And just paying attention to the behaviors of Sebastian, I can tell that he spends a lot of time with his mother, right? We all know Wiz Khalifa's a international rap star. He spends most of his time on the road. He probably doesn't have too much time to spend with his son. And I understand what's going on. He clearly has picked up on the feminine behaviors of his mother. Now, the reason why I think that this is a bad thing is because Sebastian is a boy, right? And I don't feel very comfortable seeing a little boy act like that, because I blame the mother, and I have to blame Amber Rose for Sebastian's behavior. Once again, let me reiterate this, right? I don't think he's gay. He's a kid. I do not think that he's gay. I don't even think he's at that mind state where he's even thinking about his sexuality. For God's sakes, he's a little boy, right? So I don't want you guys in my comment section going crazy. He's a little boy, but he's very feminine. Very feminine. And the fact that a woman left a comment saying Sebastian is such a free spirit, no toxic masculinity around here, I feel very disrespected by that comment, because you're basically giving a little boy a pass to act like a woman. And we all know that in 2018, there was an attack on masculinity. Nipsey Hussle spoke out about this. Guys, you guys need to do your research before you guys come in my comment section, because I already know how this works. When you speak on controversial topics like this, people automatically bash you. Oh, why are you calling Wiz Khalifa's son gay? Listen to what I'm saying, guys. Just listen. Testosterone for men is at an all-time low. Testosterone for men is lower than it's ever been in the history. Well, not in the history, because we can't really do research that far. But men's testosterone levels are at an all-time low. And the reason why is because, number one, the food that we are eating is filled with estrogen. For example, dairy, the GMO foods that we're putting into our body. The foods that we're putting into our body. Second of all, a lot of men are growing up in single parent households. A lot of men aren't growing up around men that are masculine. So a lot of men are picking up on their mother's behaviors. But the number one thing that I blame it on is the food. But in this case, I have to blame Amber Rose for how Sebastian is acting. I just think that he's picking up on his mother's behaviors. And the sad part is that Wiz Khalifa smokes so much damn weed, I think he understands 100% what's going on. I just don't think he cares. I think this man smokes so much weed that he said to himself, you know what? Even if my son is gay, you know, I'm high, I'm feeling good, you know what I'm saying? It's all about love, you know what I'm saying? It's all about love, man. I'ma love my son regardless. And, you know, it's sad, man, because, you know, this little boy is gonna go through hell, man. You know, his parents are famous. Obviously, when he gets older, he's gonna be famous. And I just think that it's very uncomfortable to see a little boy acting so feminine like this, man. And this is just my personal opinion. I think there's an attack on masculinity, and I think that we have to stop attacking people for being too masculine. We are men. We have nuts. We're supposed to be aggressive. We are supposed to be go-getters. We are supposed to want to make more than a woman. We are supposed to want to take care of our family. We are supposed to walk around thinking we can knock anybody the fuck out if they get disrespectful. We're not supposed to be walking around swinging our hips, snapping our fingers, turning our necks, and all that bullshit. We're not supposed to be doing that. We're men. If men were supposed to be acting like girls, then there would be girls instead of girls and men. There's the masculine energy and there's the feminine energy. And we got to stop giving these things an excuse because we believe in peace and love. Nah, bruh. We got to stop doing that. This is all a part of an agenda. I'm starting to see cartoons where cartoon characters are gay. So little kids are watching cartoons and they're seeing gay characters and they're picking up on the behavior. We got to stop acting like this shit is normal. It's a damn shame that a man can walk into a woman's bathroom nowadays because he put in his head that he's a girl. That's a damn shame. And I know I'm going to rough up a little bit of feathers. If you don't like it, I don't care. I have to make this video because right is right, wrong is wrong. I feel like if a child is going to choose to be gay, he should be able to mature and get to a certain age where he can act like that if he chooses to. There's no reason why a little boy is walking around acting like a girl. That's a problem. That means there's something going on in that household. And I have to blame Amber Rose. I have to blame Amber Rose. And to the fellas out there, I'm about to end this video because I don't want to make it too long. To the fellas out there, man, be careful who you have unprotected sex with, man. Be careful who you have kids with. Because if you have kids with the wrong woman, this is going to happen to your son. You see all these rappers getting these hoes pregnant like Black China and Amber Rose. And then their kids end up acting like the hoe's mother. The mother that's a hoe. They pick up on those behaviors. And with that being said, man, leave a comment, subscribe. I'm out. Skirt.